in boxing.
Yeah,
Why?
okay.
You're not strong. How did you beat me?
I'm not sure his team understood it.
Because I'm skilled.
Let's do the
I had character.
Okay.
And determination.
Listen.
I just want to say.
All right, as you guys know, from then on, Anthony Joshua went to go on his rant. We all know what he said. I'm not going to play it because Sky Sports be on my ass. They stay on my ass. Can't upload shit. But anyways, I'm going to digress on that. But he basically go on to say that, you got to understand that, I didn't start boxing till such and such age. I did it because, I was going to jail, wanted to learn how to fight. You got to understand that I'm a big fighter. I'm 18 stone. I'm not like one of these other guys, Jack Dempsey. Y'all keep talking about combination punches and have all the skills. And you got to understand it's hard for me because I'm a big guy, blah, blah, blah. I understand what he was trying to do. I understand what he wanted to do. But once again, he wasn't in his right mind. That's why somebody should have set his ass down. But nonetheless, we're here. And Anthony Joshua keep talking about skills. Bump being strong, you know what I'm saying? Skills. I need skills. I don't know where Anthony Joshua got this obsession with skills is. I honestly think Anthony Joshua hear people talk about Usyk's skills and Fury's skills, and he gets envious, jealous, or he wants people to talk about him in that manner. And he has to understand it's different strokes for different folks. And that doesn't necessarily mean that that's something that he needs to pursue and he needs to chase, because he's obviously obsessed with skills. Because that's 2 times he tried to go in there and box a skilled boxer. Not intelligent, but that's 2 times. But I already said why in my other video. Obviously, people are afraid to tell Anthony Joshua stuff. But with Anthony Joshua needs to understand that being a high IQ boxer is not exactly a prerequisite to being a good heavyweight champion. I don't know if he knows that. I mean, he should, but I'm not going to assume what people know and don't know anymore because we'll all be shocked, to tell you the truth. But being a very skilled up boxer at the heavyweight division is not exactly a prerequisite. You could still be a very good, dominant, Hall of Fame heavyweight with just having the basics. But you don't need to be some skilled up fighter to be a good contending, a good heavyweight champion. It's not true. Deontay Wilder has proven that to you. Look how far he has got with no skills. Because out of all the boxers in all the divisions, the heavyweight is the only one that you train different. Heavyweight don't train like the rest of the other fighters train. At least you're not supposed to. Because it's not exactly a prerequisite to being a good, dominant heavyweight champion. It's not. If you look at Klitschko wasn't no high IQ ring wizard, something like that. No, you know what Klitschko did? I'm going to tell you what Klitschko did. Klitschko did what worked for him. See, the problem with Anthony Joshua is he is a styleless fighter. He doesn't have a style. And what I mean by he doesn't have a style, he does not know how to do what works well for him. Okay? The reason why Klitschko did as good, because when he got with Emmanuel, he took what worked best for Klitschko and amplified it. And see, that's one of the beautiful things about Emmanuel. Emmanuel never really tried to change you. He catered to your natural style, your natural fighting style, what was comfortable for you, what style you felt comfortable with. Everybody has a style that they feel comfortable with. It's the same concept as Jeet Kune Do. When you meet a person and say that they practice Jeet Kune Do, they automatically are doing the opposite of why Bruce Lee created Jeet Kune Do. Because Jeet Kune Do is not a style. It's a philosophy, not a style. So you can't practice Jeet Kune Do because it's not about that. Jeet Kune Do is a philosophy, taking what applies and works best for you and disregarding the rest. But Bruce Lee said the most important thing about fighting is finding your fighting style. That means I'm going to show you how to throw a proper jab. I'm going to show you how to throw a proper right hand, hooks, uppercuts, and all that. This is the proper way of doing it. But in between that and showing you the textbook correct way, in between that, you have to find what works best for you. Another example, Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali was not textbook, okay? He was not. Muhammad Ali never kept his hands up. He kept his hands low. When Angelo Dundee tried to get Muhammad Ali to hold his hands by his head, he found that Ali was getting hit. And that's when he forgot it's just not his style. So he told him to go back to holding his hands low. Now, technically, textbook-wise, in boxing, they're going to tell you to keep your hands up. Keep that chin tucked. When you throw the jab, you know what I'm saying? The chin should be hidden behind the shoulder. That's the textbook way. But in between the right way and the wrong way, you're supposed to find your style, what works best for you. This is what Bruce Lee impressed upon. He said it's more important for you to find your style than to just practice being like me or duplicate what I do. You know what I'm saying? Find what works best for you and disregard the rest. Anthony Joshua has not found what works best for him. Another example, Deontay Wilder. Yeah, no skills and all that, but he had a style. He found best what works for him. Whether it was that power, whether it was that right hand, whether it doesn't matter. He found what worked for him, and look how far he got. Klitschko found what worked for him, and look how far he got. Anthony Joshua needs to find what works for him. Now, as far as this being heavy thing, it's another bad example. Because Fury is, I believe, taller than Anthony Joshua and heavier than Anthony Joshua and walks around at a heavier weight than Anthony Joshua. Yet, he throws combination punches and he's light on his feet, and I don't really see him having stamina issues. Is that not true? So what's up with the 18 stone thing? A big man can't throw combinations. Okay? You fight how you train. But a big guy can't throw combinations, so that's not it. Once again, he's obsessed with skills. Skills. It's more important for Anthony Joshua what finds out what works for Anthony Joshua. Skip all the skill stuff because the best fighter doesn't always necessarily win. You can have all the skills in the world. That don't mean that you're necessarily going to win because the other guy might be stronger, have a better chin, and a better character than you. In the end, you're going to lose. You could meet a guy that's skilled to the gills, but he ain't got no heart. You could meet a guy that's skilled to the gills, but he doesn't have the killer in him to go out there and do what needs to be done to pull off a win. So you could have all the skill in the world, but be missing some elements and still lose a fight. Okay? You could be a more skilled boxer and lose to somebody who's inferior to your boxing skills. So when you're in the heavyweight division, you have to understand the most important thing about the heavyweight division is detonating. Because they say, well, it depends on who lands first. Skills is good. It's going to help you out, of course. I mean, you can't go in there just a skillless bum. But the main thing about the heavyweight is finding a way to put it on them. Detonating. Putting that right hand on them. Klitschko wasn't called boring for no reason. His shit was boring. Why? Because Dr. Steelhammer worked with what worked for him. Klitschko wasn't entertaining by far. But he wasn't trying to do all that extra special shit. He went in there and did what worked for him that got him to win. That's what Anthony Joshua needs to find. He needs to find his style. what he knows how to do best, what works for him. And sometimes what you know how to do, it could be technically wrong. Pernell Whitaker fought with his foot on the inside of a southpaw. So did Hasim Rahman, which is a no-no. Not Hasim Rahman, but Prince Naseem. You know, those are only two fighters I know that could step in on the inside. You know what I'm saying? Because they'll tell you to keep your foot in a dominant position. Pernell Whitaker would fight on the inside, the inferior foot position, and still do good. I ain't never seen nobody else do that. But technically, it's wrong. But it worked for Pernell. And that's one thing you got to understand about boxing and fighting. It's more important to find your style. And Anthony Joshua doesn't have a style. That's for number one. And Anthony Joshua can throw combinations if he's trained to. You know what I'm saying? If he's trained to. But all that being big stuff, no. Because I know he's in the heavyweight division. But the other main thing is, Anthony Joshua understand if you have a stamina issue, okay, you have to understand that everybody, even heavyweights, has a fighting weight. Anthony Joshua is 230 pounds, at the most 232, not a pound over with. That's his fighting weight if you were concerned about going 12 rounds in stamina. If you're concerned about throwing punches and bunches, that's your fighting weight. He still came in there at 244 pounds while looking slimmer. You know what that means? He lost fat and gained muscle. The more muscle you have on your body, the harder the heart got to work. Because muscles snatch oxygen. If you're concerned about going 12 rounds, naturally, what does that tell you? I have to drop some muscle so I can have more stamina. Okay? Not put on more muscle. Drop muscle so I can have more stamina and be at this weight so I can be loose, light, and agile. Because if you look at Anthony Joshua during the Andy Ruiz 2 fight, that's how he's supposed to move. That's the weight he's supposed to be at. That's how he's supposed to move. Anthony Joshua was even throwing was even moving while hitting. You know what I'm saying? Throwing and moving at the same time, being light on his toes, bouncing around. Go ahead and watch that second fight. Then while you at it, go watch Anthony Joshua's first 4 fights. To me, Anthony Joshua was a better fighter when he was with I believe it's Mark Tibbs. He was a better fighter with Mark Tibbs. Because when he was with Mark Tibbs, that's the only time I seen Anthony Joshua throw a punch stepping backwards. Anthony Joshua could throw punches stepping backwards. He could dart in and out. And go watch go watch his first 5 or 6 fights. Don't get hung up on the skill. Look at AJ's mechanics. AJ threw combination. He threw punches and bunches. He threw insurance punches when he was done with his combinations. You know what I'm saying? And he could throw going backwards. Go watch him. You can watch the first one to the second one to the third one. Look at the mechanics on Anthony Joshua and also look at his weight. He was agile. He could throw punches and bunches. He could move. He was light on his feet. And he could fight off the back foot. This AJ can't do none of that. You know? So instead of blaming it on this, there's guys that are bigger than you that can throw combinations. Yes, they're guys who started late just like you. At the end of the day, I think what it really is nobody can tell Anthony Joshua anything. I figured that out by watching him act a nut and nobody pull him to the side. But he needs to find a style, quit being obsessed with skill, use your natural attributes because once again, your natural attributes would have got you to win. You know, and get some real fucking training. You know what I'm saying? That's for one. Take your ass to the man. Don't let Anthony Joshua be an example for all you up and coming UK box. Bring your ass to America. We only gonna make you better. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.